Hello everyone, this is Camilla of the Alexandrite system. It's been a while. We've been away partly because we've been busy with school, earning our psychology degree, and partly because we are working on a very big video about the history of dissociative identity disorder on television. And not only are we working on a video about this, we are, no joke, working on making this an academic paper. So it's a very large project, and we've been hard at work at that. Additionally, we've been very busy with the topic of this video. As of the day this goes up, we will be having bottom surgery in 52 days, which is a shockingly small amount of time. The last time we mentioned it on this channel was in our year in review video for 2021, when we had just scheduled a consultation for October of 2023. That consultation was actually pushed back to February of 2024 for insurance reasons, but we did have it. And that same day, we got a date for the surgery, May 22nd of this year. Well, actually, we got the date of May 23rd, and then in July, they called us and they were like, hey, we actually can't do that day. Can you do one day earlier? Which, it's over a year in advance. I'm sure that we can make room in our schedule. So, as a warning, we will be talking about the surgery a lot in this video. I don't really know why you would click on this video if you didn't understand that we would be talking about surgery, but just in case, trigger warning for discussion of surgery, some discussion of sex, and some discussion of medical trauma. So we will be getting a peritoneal pull-through vaginoplasty, which is a more advanced technique than the typical penile inversion method. In short, while the labia is being made from the existing genital tissue, the actual vagina, the inside part, is being made from the lining of our inner abdomen, which is actually very cool. It's a little yucky to say, but it is very cool. There are some interesting advantages to this, including greater depth, less risk of prolapse, and some lubrication, which is not possible with penile inversion. We'll be spending approximately a week in the hospital, and then we have to stay within an hour of the hospital for 2 weeks after that. And this young man is coming with us. Hello, Archer. Oh, he's so much skinnier than the last time he was on camera. The diet worked. So we'll be away from home for approximately 3 weeks, which is annoying, I guess. It is very annoying to me that we have to be so close to the hospital and we can't just be at home, because we're approximately an hour and a half to 2 hours away at home from the hospital, and they need us within an hour in case we can't pee. So that sucks. And it's a big hidden cost to have to rent an Airbnb or whatever for 3 weeks. Luckily, we found a way to swing it. We're really fortunate in that regard. I feel like the thing that I keep thinking is how lucky I am. We have insurance, we're in a supportive environment, we live close enough to a surgeon that it's really not that big of a deal to stay there, and we have the money to swing these extra stupid costs. The other thing I keep thinking is how fucking excited I am, and how relieved by this I feel. Susan and I are probably the two people in the system who are most excited for this. And I think it has to do with the fact that we are both internally cis women. There are probably plenty of trans women who would describe themselves as cis women internally, the whole trapped in a man's body sort of thing. But I feel with system stuff it ends up being different. With Claudia, who is internally a trans woman as well, it's a different sort of feeling, from what I understand. If we made this video 4 years ago, we probably would have had each of us record something and then edit it all together. But to be quite frank, we're too lazy these days. That's a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of switching. It's a lot of editing. So you have to take my word for it. I guess I can't really describe how it's different for me. I think it has to do with the fact that this is an aligning with my inner world body. We've mentioned this before. We can have sex with each other in the inner world, and in the inner world, I have a cis woman's body. I have a vagina there already. I think for Claudia, and the couple of other trans women in the system, it's more of a correction to them than it is for me. Or I guess another way to say it is that the others have to get used to the idea of having a vagina at all, and I don't as much, which is strange in a way, because bodily, I have never had one. Unfortunately, not everyone in the system is thrilled about this. I know that back in the day, before I actually woke up, the others made a video talking about how we had the orchiectomy, but to get a vaginoplasty, we would all have to give an enthusiastic yes about it. That did not last. Frankly, I think that was stupid to begin with. We have 25 or 26 people in the system now. Slightly more than half of them are children. And something like 5 of them are men or masculine leaning. And I don't think that we were ever going to get an enthusiastic yes from them. So the question began to be, could you live with this? And that we got a yes for. And I won't beat around the bush. It's Oak who's giving up a lot here. Oak is in a romantic and sexual relationship that has been very good and healing for him, and he has to change an aspect of that sexual relationship, a significant aspect. And Oak has said that he doesn't want us to thank him, doesn't want us to express how we're sorry that we're doing this, because we're not. And that's true. I'm not sorry. Because I want this. I want this so fucking badly. And I think it says a lot to how far Oak has come as a person, and how much he cares about us in the system, that he is willing to do this. So ultimately, Oak has decided that he can live with it. We are also approaching this surgery as an openly plural person. It's in our letters of support that we have DID, and our social worker knows about it, and the nursing staff on the floor will know about it. And that is amazing, exciting. I was surprised when I spoke to the social worker a couple of months ago that they had already worked with plural people going through bottom surgery before. Like, they had a standard thing that they did. And I don't feel like it was like this 6 years ago when we made that last surgery video. And it's good to know that if any of our kids happen to come out during some part of the hospital stay, which is a non-zero chance, because we do have medical trauma around being in a hospital, that they can be taken care of in some way and supported in some way. We're doing our best to make sure that that doesn't happen, but things happen. Our last surgery was ultimately very traumatizing. We got shoved out of the hospital 30 minutes after we woke up, and then we only had 10 days to recover from this surgery that affected our ability to walk around before we had to go back to our physically intensive job. And on top of that, our surgeon kind of ghosted us. There was a point where we had some stitches that were bleeding, which isn't unheard of, and we called his office worried about it, and he never called us back. And also, the entire 10 days that we were just home resting, very tired and bored and in pain, we only had one friend come to visit us the entire time. And we are going to try and fix that this time, especially because this recovery process is going to be longer and more tiring and more physically intensive. I've been told repeatedly that dilation is a physically and emotionally draining task. And for the first 3 months, we have to do it 4 times a day. And there are probably a lot of negative things to focus on. The fact that we had to have over a year of expensive laser hair removal. Insurance is supposed to cover it, but the places that actually take insurance are always booked. Not to mention the fact that it's just physically fucking painful. Can you tell that I am the person in the system who does all of the laser? The fact that it costs so much, even if insurance is covering the vast majority of it. The fact that we had to wait so long to do it, and then the fact that we have to do it at all. I think bottom surgery brings up a lot of painful feelings that I'm hoping some of which will be relieved soon. So wish us luck. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be so good. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being patient with us. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/wearealexandra. Until next time, thank you all for watching. Here's some outro music that we haven't gotten to play for a while.